Good evening, everyone. If you don't know, you should know. My name is Rameez and I am a filmmaker and a film critic, and Godzilla vs. Kong are here to battle it out. Let's get to the review.
I keep reaching for greatness because I'm built from it.
Who bows to who?
Nobody gon' stop for me. Here we go.
Kong bows to no one.
Here we go.
Godzilla vs. King Kong is finally here, and boy do the stars of the film King Kong and Godzilla provide a breath of fresh air, even though they're completely CGI. The film sort of invites you in to watch this mayhem and escapism, and since movie theater going is at an all-time low, this film might stick with you for a while. Now, with that being said, this film does not hold a candle to Kong Skull Island, which I believe was the best film in this whole monsterverse. It had a solid story and some sexy style to it. The film was a delight to watch with its colors and all that stuff. And Godzilla 1 was pretty lame as well, or as I like to call it, Godzilla. Where's Godzilla? King of the Monsters was pretty cool, but this film is a perfect blend, a nice mix mash of both of those character stories, and giving them a reason to fight, albeit stupid, it ends up working. Now, the reason I also say that Kong Skull Island was great was because some of the human characters were great. Now, I don't remember their names, but I do remember the actors who played them. Tom Hiddleston, Samuel L. Jackson, Brie Larson. It was quite a good cast. Over here, we only have somewhat of a star in the film, a lot of TV actors. Kyle Chandler, I love him, but he is a TV actor. And, I was talking about the characters of Kong Skull Island. Are the characters in this film any good?
Bitch, please!
I had to do that. The humans in this film are absolutely atrocious and completely forgettable. I mean, the first line Rebecca Hall says is, "Oh, you didn't know that? It's an Iwi mythology trope." And I'm like, is there no other way to better deliver her character? Alright, I get it, she's a doctor. She's in a dome, I'm gonna get that. But why did you have to throw that forced, pathetic expository line in there? And this film is just that. The human characters are just there to explain what the plot is to you. What's this? Why do we have to go here? Let me tell you. Oh, why is Godzilla attacking us? Let me tell you. Oh, who is this guy? What's he doing? Let me tell you. They introduce all these new characters, such as a disgruntled dude called Bernie who has a podcast and he works at a super top secret Apple-like cybernetic company. Why is no one monitoring him, first of all? They also introduced this big head honcho CEO guy played by Demian Bashir. He's the owner of Apex Cybernetics. He does the most of it. He's probably the most coolest, fun guy. He's having a lot of fun. It reminded me of a performance of Emperor Palpatine in prequels. From Bernie, the story somehow leads us to one of the most annoying pieces of pushing down your throat I've seen in recent Hollywood, Millie Bobby Brown. Why is Hollywood sexualizing this little girl? She's 17. In this film, she's supposed to be a high school student. She doesn't talk like she's in high school. She doesn't talk to her dad as if she's a kid. She has this great setup for a 17-year-old. She listens to podcasts about Titan theory. No 17-year-old does that. And what's even more annoying is the film tries to sexualize her. I mean, they give her eyeliner, she's in full makeup, she puts her hair up in a bun, and that stupid sexy way in girls do in movies, and they have her cleavage showing. And it's not just Hollywood people. As soon as they got out of the theater, there was this optical store there, and I saw Millie Bobby Brown selling me glasses. Stop selling kids. The writing is pathetic, unmotivated, and just the bare minimum needed to get you to the next scene. Our characters are just cardboard cutouts who have no backstory at all. They just exist to exist. And excuse my earlier rant on Millie Bobby Brown, but why can't Hollywood get kids right? I saw Terminator 2 again recently, and that is the best kid performance I have ever seen. The story is that Godzilla is attacking the world for some reason, and there's the CEO of Apex called Walter Simmons. Well, he's on quite the egomaniacal trip, by the way. For some reason, even though Godzilla's there to protect you and the world, likes Godzilla, he wants to create an alternate to Godzilla. It's stupid, I know, and it's a lame reason for both of the Titans to fight, but spoilers, he ends up creating Mechagodzilla. And yeah, that's why Godzilla comes and attacks people. Nothing cool and creative. Oh, he just senses that there's a mech being created, you know, by Ghidorah's blood or something. And yeah, I have to stop it. Like Batman versus Superman, Warner Brothers do not have the balls to take a side, so they end up having to make them team up. Why can't they just decide a winner and end a franchise and then restart it again? No one will care. Just take a side. The bread and butter of the film, however, is definitely the fighting. Be aware, however, anything you might have seen in the trailer is probably gonna be most of the stuff you see in the film, and that was quite a disappointment. Now, I do have a litany of issues with this film. One of the first of them being the film's look is definitely a hit or miss. The film is directed by Adam Wingard, and his lack of experience in directing a $200 million blockbuster film definitely shows in this. There is an overabundance of CGI, there's a lack of style. Nothing really separates this film from King of the Monsters. As boring as Godzilla 2014 was, you know, the human aspect of that film is the MO of Gareth Edwards, I believe, the director of that film. And it was quite nice to see Bryan Cranston, you know, give it a really neat human element. That's one film where the humans were actually pretty cool, but I don't want to see humans in a Godzilla film. The cinematography is depressingly dark. I don't know now if that's an issue or of whether my projector's brightness was turned down or not at the right place, but even if you watch this on a small screen, I'm pretty sure you'll get what I'm talking about. There are instances, especially the interior scenes at night, in which you can't see stuff. Even the characters, when they're lit, their backgrounds are completely left dark. There's no separation between them from the background. They almost disappear into the background. And why is this film so darn dark and shaky? The fight scenes could have been improved vastly if they just put the camera on a freaking tripod or something stable, even if it's on a gimbal or a chopper. Just put it on a tripod. Every time Godzilla punches, there's a slight vibration. This is something they do in video games as well. It's called motion blur. And you can't avoid that in films, but you can avoid that in video games. I think they went overboard with motion blur because it's really hard to see, you know, when they're punching. Aside from the wide shots, I said this in my Dark Knight Rises video essay, you want to make a film feel more epic, put in extreme wide shots and wide shots. Watch Lawrence of Arabia if you don't know what I'm talking about, or watch my video essay if you don't know what I'm talking about. And the editing of the film is questionable, to say the least. Scenes just end. I mean, the film just ends. There's no, that could be an issue with the script as well, because as I said, you know, not developed. The characters, after fighting each other, they have nothing to do. Oh yeah, here's Kong. End of movie. I know, I feel like I'm bashing the hell out of this film, but I did enjoy it. But it needs to be said when there are issues with this film. But there are some good parts of this film as well, and some of the fight scenes are actually very incredible to feast and to marvel at. There is a sequence in which a flying machine, a ship, gets out of a black hole or something. It's really stupid, the story, by the way. They go like near Kong's mouth and they see his teeth, and the ship flies above that, and then all of a sudden there's this beam of Godzilla's, you know, radiation breath, and they circle around that, and eventually they fly above Godzilla's eye. Now that is what this movie needed. If you want to cram it in, if you want to bring the action close, make the camera movement extremely awesome. That shot reminded me of that amazing CGI one shot in the original Avengers movie of 2012. It was that good. It was a really neat sequence. Although I wish this film could have been more like the recent Godzilla film, in which it used Godzilla to tell a story of social and political norms almost around the world. That story involved Godzilla against a failing government. Nowadays, it's just enough to see two big icons fight to get butts in seats. Come on, people, ask for a story. It is more Batman v Superman, but it's trying to be more Last of Us. And with that being said, I still will recommend that you see this movie at least once. Try to watch it not in the theaters, but try to watch it on a smaller screen. I believe you'll enjoy it much more. With that being said, people, I'm going to give Godzilla vs. Kong a final score of 3.5 out of 5. I know I bashed this film a lot, but if you haven't seen any films in the theater during this deadly pandemic, you might want to check out Godzilla vs. Kong. Of course, when you do in theaters, please keep your hand sanitizer on you and wear a mask. Please, we're still not out of this pandemic. Have a great day. I will see you again with some new content. Hopefully soon. Thank you.